Hey, this is Brian. I am going over the Varsin body cam that I just saw. And if you've not seen the Officer Varsin body cam, then you're missing out on everything. This is probably the most important body cam. Hey, what's going on, Sleep Dap? I'm talking about the Officer Varsin body cam. And just explaining to folks that this is, hey, Rod, this is the most important body cam there is. So, just to summarize, so Officer Varsin is I believe, a trainee. They said this is the first day on the job. So she was with Officer Hendricks in the office. So that when they were in the office together, you see them running from the office, and then they kind of meander their way through the casino. It's really odd. You can hear on the radio all this talk of, you can hear all this talk of shots over at the Mandalay Bay. So Hendricks, along with MGM security, it seems, people dressed in black suits, are walking, meandering through the casino together. And then they finally get to the elevators. And when they enter the elevators, somebody says, Jesus told me it happened in the stairwell. Do you want to go to the stairwell on the 31st floor? Hey, George. So right away, this is about 3 minutes into about 3 minutes into Varsin's body cam. They're already in the stairwell. There's still probably another 8 or 9 automatic fire shots that could still happen. And they're saying that Jesus told them that it's in the stairwell. So, I don't know about drilling the bracket. All I know is what I heard in the. Thanks for the question. All I know is what I heard on the radio. So when they entered into the elevator, somebody said, Jesus told me that they're in the corner of the stairwell. And then they go up and he says, do you want me to take you to 31? So they end up getting off on the 31st floor. As they're walking across the 31st floor, somebody, it's not a cop. I don't believe it's a cop. It's not Hendricks and it's not Varsin, says 32135 at about 5 minutes and 37 seconds into Varsin's body cam footage that I saw. And I'll share the link. I got it on OEG's channel. So at 5:37, somebody says it's 32135. Now, this is where I'm getting at with this. There were 6 more automatic gunfire shots, automatic volleys fired after this, okay? Why didn't Metro have a sniper looking at 32135? It was already identified by a security guard with MGM at that time. Why didn't they just say, all right, MGM security says it's 32135, that's the northernmost, it's not even a hard room to figure out. It's a northernmost suite of the hotel, all the way on the edge. It's on the edge of the wing. Why didn't they have somebody ready to go? They could have had somebody, they could even had somebody with one of those M4s, or some of the cops carry their own AR-15s with scopes. I'm sure they had somebody with a scope in one of those cars that they had. They all had rifles. They were pulling out rifles like crazy early on. Why didn't somebody with a rifle look up and spot 32135 and at least say, yeah, I see the muzzle flash, I have him in sight? Not one person on radio, not one person says, I have the shooter in sight. Not one. They knew 6 volleys ahead where he was. MGM announced it. He's in 135. It's on radio. They're talking on radio. They say, yeah, we know he's in 32135. After that, there were 6 more volleys. 6 more volleys after that. So why didn't they respond? I can kind of understand why Varsin and Hendricks didn't do anything, because honestly, charging a room with full auto in a hotel isn't a good idea. But if you've got a guy firing out a window, you put a rifle on him and you use a precision shot. You know where he is. You know exactly where he is. So what was going on? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. They announce he's in 32135, and then there are 6 volleys after that. Why didn't Metro communicate with MGM security on this? And why didn't they, when they knew, they all over the radio, people were saying it's coming from the tower at the Mandalay Bay, why didn't they have somebody with a rifle scoping to see where it came from? Oh, it's 32135, I have him in sight, boom, take him out. Why didn't they do that and save lives? It doesn't make any sense. Then, one more thing I want to share with you. When they were in the elevator, so Varsin's body cam is unbelievable. So for some reason, they have a trainee hanging out in the hallway. This is after Levi Las Vegas does his little thing of blowing stuff up in the room, and they do they accidentally have a misfire or whatever they did. I don't understand all that. They do 2 breaches, a misfire. Anyway, so Varsin's in the hallway, and for some reason they're having her guard the door. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why is she doing that? So Varsin's in the door, and the guy, I call him Bossy Cop, he says, be careful of forensics. We have forensics here. We have rounds over here. And he points to the hallway of the stairwell. How did rounds get in the hallway of the stairwell? Were those rounds or those spent rounds? Were those shells? Was somebody shooting from the stairwell? Because they mentioned that early in Varsin's video, that they were shooting from an angle in the stairwell. So who was in that stairwell? Like, was it, hey, that doesn't make sense, all right? It looks like somebody was shooting from the stairwell into the room. If you look at another body cam, you can see all the gunshots that you have in the door are about waist to chest high, depending on how tall you are. They're really high. They're way above waist. I'm like 5'7", so they're probably maybe my lower chest area high. They were pretty high. How did Jesus get hit in the calf if all those gunshot holes were like chest high? It doesn't make sense. And then they knew right away it was 32135. So why didn't Metro have a rifle pointed at that room? He's shooting outside that room. 6 more volleys occurred after that point. Hey, what's up, 1005? 6 more volleys occurred. So I'm basically looking at it's Officer Varsin's body cam is unbelievable. 3 minutes into the body cam, they're on the elevator, very early in the massacre. 3 minutes in to hers, so this is maybe like 5 minutes into the massacre. A gentleman gets on. He says, should I take you to 131? Jesus said that they're firing from an angle in the stairwell. And he keeps talking about Jesus. So apparently Jesus had already been fired upon very early in this, because he was talking about Jesus very early in her body cam. They get to the 31st floor. They kind of take their time, but they get there. It's a little scary. Hendricks acts like he's all freaked out a little bit. But somebody gets on the radio and says, 32135, 32135. All right, boom. They've got it precise. They've got the room precise. It's the northernmost room on the tower. Have somebody with a rifle. A lot of these cops carry their own AR-15s, and a lot of them have really nice scopes. You didn't need, it was all lit up. The Mandalay Bay is all lit up. You don't even need like a thermal scope. It's not even that tough of a shot. It's like 100 yards, maybe 125 yards, which is what the AR-15 is made for. Especially if you have a scope, it's an easy shot. I don't understand. So then 6 more volleys happen after that. And then a guy about 7 minutes and 30 seconds gets in and says, he's on the radio, he says, we know it's 32135. So he confirms it again. So 3 times they confirmed where it was. The first time the gentleman says, Jesus said they're in the corner of the stairwell, and then shooting in. That's like 3 minutes into Varsin's body cam footage. Then at 5 minutes and 37 seconds in, they say 32135, 32135. And then at 7 minutes into her video, they say, they're talking on the radio and they say, get off the channel. We know it's 32135. So they confirmed it twice. After the first time they confirmed it, there were 6 more volleys. If MGM security was sure of where it was coming from, and they didn't even get there, they hadn't even gotten to the room. So how did they know where it was coming from? It must have been from camera or someone else, but they knew And there were 6 more volleys happened after they confirmed it on the radio. 6 more volleys happened. How many people died because of that? Gosh, what is happening here? What is happening? And I will not accept Hendricks to be the scapegoat on this. I don't know what he was doing in that hallway, but whatever. It didn't really matter. It made no sense. It made no. Yeah, I'm looking at Andrew. It doesn't make any sense. What happened? What happened? Why didn't Metro talk to MGM Security? Because MGM Security knew exactly where it was, and there were 6 volleys after that. 6 volleys occurred after they had said it's 32135, according to Varsin's body cam footage. Okay? And Jesus must have been shot really quickly, because when they got in the elevator, it was super early on, and they're talking about how Jesus said it happened in the corner of the stairwell, and people were shooting in the corner stairwell. So when did Jesus get shot? Maybe he did get shot at 9:59. Maybe the sheriff was right early on. Maybe there was some other stuff going on. I don't know. All I know is that they got online and they said 32135. Yeah, Alsbury directed them to 31. Alsbury said, do you want to go to 31? Because Jesus said they're in the corner of the 31 stairwell. Marie D, I'm with you. So I don't know. So I don't know. Jesus is one room away from where. I don't understand that, Peter. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jesus must have gotten shot real early, because they had about 3 minutes into Varsin's body cam footage. And this is after they ran across to the elevator. The gentleman in the elevator says, do you want to go to 131? Jesus said that they're in the corner stairwell of 131, something to that effect. I would watch this body cam yourself. So right away they talk about Jesus, and then they go up. When they're on the floor, you start hearing the automatic gunfire, and then they say 32135, 32135, and then they get on a minute and a half later and say, yes, it's 32135. We know where it is. After the first time they confirm it, do you know what happens? Nothing. Why didn't Metro put a rifle on it? Anybody with a personal AR-15 in the police force, because they could carry their own weapons. A lot of them do. There was an accidental discharge of someone's own weapon on January 1st. It was his own AR-15 that accidentally discharged. How many of those cops had their own AR-15s with scopes in their car? Of course, SWAT. Where is SWAT? Yeah, well, SWAT, Pete, that's another thing that you can see in Varsin's video. So this guy, I call him Bossy Cop, is bossing around Varsin, and he says to Varsin, stay here until SWAT finishes what they need to do, and then forensics and homicide and the FIT team will come. Wow. So SWAT prepares a scene, and then homicide, forensics, and the FIT team comes to after SWAT does whatever they do. What was SWAT doing? Where was SWAT when he was shooting at people? So when he was shooting at people, why didn't SWAT, one of these snipers? I mean, these snipers run like sniper schools in Vegas. You can see it on YouTube. Look them up. They run sniper schools in Vegas. But when we needed a SWAT sniper from Las Vegas Metro, none of them were around. Nobody was around from SWAT. So they were goofing off in the hallways the whole time, while the whole time MGM Security knew exactly where it was coming from. I didn't understand that whole thing. Like, why did they even include Varsin in this video? Why did they made her hang out in the hallway, and then they posted her right in front of Bitsko's video? Varsin's experience is so interesting. You know why? Because Varsin isn't trained enough to understand when there's audio happening in the background that you may not want on your body cam. We just hear it. Varsin is, I think her video is the most honest video, because when there's something interesting going on in the background, she doesn't just start talking. And you hear that in Bitsko's body cam and some of the other cops' body cam. When you hear something interesting in the background, all of a sudden they'll start chattering, and then you can't make out what was going on. In Varsin's body cam, you hear everything. It's very silent. The audio is excellent. And you hear what people say to her. You hear background noise. You hear background radio. You hear MGM talking on the radio. So I don't know what happened here, but MGM, apparently, MGM security guards that were with Varsin and Hendricks knew very early that it was 32135. So the question is, why didn't Metro respond to that information? Because they confirmed it. They weren't acting clueless like the Metro cops were. Oh, north of the Mandalay Bay, 15th floor. No, they were like 32135. Boom, that's it. Where were the Metro snipers? Where was everybody? Where were the people that we asked to support us? I mean, a lot of people died in this massacre. Why? All we're asking for is simple communication. MGM security knew where it was. There's a guy with an automatic weapon. Just post a rifle and shoot him. God, what was this all about? What? This is, Marie, it seemed like they knew exactly. I mean, it's unreal. Look at Varsin's video. If you look at Varsin's video, you're like, oh my God, what just happened here? They knew exactly where they were going. Even if Hendricks froze on the 31st floor, that really wasn't the tactical play. I mean, the tactical play was to have a sniper take him out. He's shooting outside a window in a building. You've got great illumination on that. You don't even need a night scope. I mean, you could see it at daytime. It doesn't make any sense. Well, Pete, I mean, you had cops out there with you don't think any of those cops out there in their squad cars had their personal AR-15 or another rifle? Let's say, no. So nobody had a rifle in any of those squad cars that got there early on the scene. Is that what you guys are telling me? There was no SWAT support for a concert with 20,000 people? They didn't have any SWAT support for a concert for 20,000 people? That doesn't make sense. This is a major concert. I don't understand. I mean, if all they needed to do was have one person there with a rifle and it was a 100-yard shot to 32135. MGM security says 32135, or Mandalay Bay security says 32135. 32135. They say it twice. On the elevator ride up, they say the corner stairwell. Jesus told me. So obviously they knew 32135 back then too, but I'll assume no, maybe no. Just give them benefit of the doubt. They say it twice. The first time they say it's in 32135, there's 6 more volleys after that. 6 more volleys. Yeah, Pete, you're right. It's not that hard of a shot. It's not that hard of a shot. You could have had any officer with an AR-15 could have taken that shot. Right, Pete? It isn't that hard of a shot. So I understand it's hard to take a shot when you're taking fire, but I mean, this did nobody have a rifle? I mean, MGM security tells them, or MGM, Mandalay Bay security says 32135. And then there are 6 volleys after that. How does that happen? Even if you would have stopped Paddock on 1 volley, that would have helped. So then the other question is, if Jesus had already seen him earlier, obviously Jesus isn't the one who stopped him. Because that was the story we heard. Because on the dude on the elevator, 3 minutes into Varsin's body cam, says Jesus said they're in the corner by the stairwell. And then there's like 6 or 7 more volleys after that. So I don't think Jesus scared anyone because the dude kept shooting. So why did he stop? I don't understand that. If you will look at Varsin's body cam, you learn so much about this. The security knew right away exactly which room it was. Pete, even if you rushed I understand rushing the door. You probably, if the reality is, if you rush your door with a guy with an automatic weapon, you're going to get shot, right? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, did Jesus enter 135? Right? I don't know. Whatever Jesus did, he didn't stop the guy. Because the dude still has like 7 more volleys after that. So when did Jesus get shot? And when did this, and how many more people died after Jesus supposedly found him? I don't think Jesus stopped him. That story doesn't make sense if you watch Varsin's body cam. It's the audio you got to listen to. The audio is what you got to listen to with this. It makes no sense. Why didn't they stop this guy if they knew exactly what room he was in? All you needed was somebody with a rifle. It wasn't that hard of a shot. You didn't even need a night scope. Their SWAT teams have thermal scopes. Their SWAT teams have incredible weapons. Not one SWAT sniper spotted the guy. They knew right away. Their command, their South Central is just down the road across from the Harley Davidson. I mean, is there nobody on like alert that you could call? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, Marie, I understand. Stop him. I mean, I think the smartest, if you know exactly what room he's in and he's shooting out of a window, post a rifle at the window and shoot him. I mean, that he's not going to see you as well as you can see him. It's not really like he's hiding if he's a sniper shooting out a window and you know exactly what window he's out of. And it was the northernmost window on that wing. It was a big suite. I mean, they could have done anything. They could have thrown flashbang grenades in there and knocked him out and disoriented him. Why didn't they do... yeah, I know, speculation, right? I don't know what happened. I just know, I'm not going to speculate on this. 5 minutes into Varsin's body cam, the security guard says 32135. A minute and a half later, he says on the radio, we know he's in 32135. And there are still volleys happening after that. So what happened? What is that communication breakdown? That's a lot of time. Precious time. People are losing their lives. What happened? Why wasn't Metro talking to MGM security or I'm not. Oh yeah, Pete. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to get into an argument here. I'm just stating what happened, and I don't know, Pete. I don't know. I don't understand any of this. What happened? I'm just saying. I'm just recommending to folks watch Varsin's body cam footage and try to figure it out for yourself. I don't know what happened. It was Marie, you're right. You're right. So Varsin's is kind of late because it happens after the minute and 35, you said, after the shooting. Yeah, but after they met with security, they kind of meandered through the casino. You see them cutting through, like, I don't really understand. Then when they get to the elevator, by the time they get to the elevator, they're already talking about Jesus. They're already talking about Jesus. So this is the other question I have. If they were talking about Jesus then, was Jesus hanging out there for like 20 minutes? Like, what was he doing? Was he just hanging out up there for 20 minutes on the 32nd floor? I don't know what, it doesn't make sense to me. So take a look at Varsin's body cam footage. You guys, I'm writing notes. I'm using Oeg's channel for my note taking. I'll share it when I post this video. But it's really interesting. It's really, yeah, Pete, it's actually really neat to look at the witness statement to compare them to the body cam footage. You get to see which witnesses seem to have a better recollection than others, or it kind of fills in the gaps on a lot of things. But I think it's really interesting. Yeah, I saw that too. But take a look at Varsin's body cam footage. Really interesting, and I think it's probably the most important thing that I saw. Yeah, I saw that that statement was made in Newton's body cam footage when he was in 131. So anyway, take a look, guys, and I hope this helps. Thanks for the great discussion and all this in this. And thanks for the great discussion too. It's super interesting. I don't know, Varsin's body cam footage is great to compare, and just her experience overall is so weird. Like, why were they including a trainee? Why did they have her posted at the door? Why was she there? Why did they bring her in on Bitsko's camera footage? And if you look at her, she seems so worried. Yeah, Jesus, I don't know. I didn't see any major injury on that leg, but he said it was just a pellet. So pellets don't hurt that much. So I don't know, but please take a look at Varsin's body cam footage from beginning to end. It gets a little boring when she's in the, in the hallway, but the the first, I would say, 10 minutes and the last maybe 10 minutes are really interesting in that video. So thank you all for joining, and thanks for the great discussion. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Yeah, CJ, why no hotel footage? There is some. There's surveillance footage from the roof cams. That footage is real interesting, too. I used it in a Hulk video I made, and one called the Ninja Squad. I used the MGM roof surveillance video in that. Yeah, so this is super interesting stuff. But all right, thanks, Aaron. Have a good one. Thanks for everyone. Bye-bye.